Hey guys, this is Amigurumi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet this delicious sushi set. It's quick and easy to make, and you can use the sushi in many different ways, such as making a sushi magnet for your fridge, or sushi catnip for your cat, or just fun play food for the kids or yourself. You can find a written pattern on my blog, which I'll link in the description below as well as right here. Okay, let's get started. For our rice base, for round 1, we are going to do 5 single crochet stitch into the magic ring. So here's my first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you're going to pull your ring in. Okay, and now for our second round, we just want to increase in each stitch around, so that's 2 in each one, so we should have 10 stitches at the end. So here's 1, 2, next one is also 2, so that's gonna be my third, 4, so that's our round 2 completed. You'll want to use your stitch marker so you can see where your rounds end at. Now for rounds 3 through 6, we're going to stay at 10 stitches. So you're going to do 1, 1, 1, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So go ahead and work up your stitches, and I will meet you at the end of round 6. So here's how your rice base should look like after you finish round 6. Now we are just going to decrease all around. Now you can stuff your rice ball. Okay, and here's our finished little rice base. For the tamago or egg, you're going to use yellow yarn. And you're going to make a slip knot on your crochet hook, and then chain 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you're going to slip stitch across. So you're going to insert your hook in our next stitch and just pull through. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're ready to work our second row. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to stay at 8 slip stitches, and we're just going to go into our back loop right here and work our row across. So that's 1, and it's a little tight, so you just need to be patient and get through, and try not to make your stitches too tight. Okay, we just finished our second row. We're going to do the exact same thing, chain 1, turn, and I want you to do this again for until we get to the end of 6 rows. So this is my third row, so keep going back and forth between the rows until you have 6 rows finished, and you will have a rectangle at the end. So now here's our rice ball, and we just need to sew this to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, here is our finished egg tamago. Now for the seaweed portion for the egg, you are just going to make a slip knot and you are going to chain 14 with black yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then you're gonna cut a long tail. And then you're just going to wrap it in the center portion. And we are going to sew it down. Okay, and here is our finished tamago. Remember, you can make the same rectangle topper to make a tuna. For the California roll, you're going to get your light red. And we are going to go ahead and chain 2. And in our very first chain, we are going to single crochet 3. 1, 2, and in our very third stitch, we're going to do a color change with our green. So you're going to go ahead and make a slip knot on your green, and then before we finish our single crochet stitch, we're going to pull the green through, and we're going to continue in the same chain. Very first chain here, we're going to also do 3 green single crochet stitches, light green. So that's 1, 2, and then in our last of the light green, before I finish it off, now I'm gonna switch colors with my dark green. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a slip knot for it, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull it through to finish off my last light green single crochet stitch here. And I'm also gonna do in the same chain space right here, I'm gonna do 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, and the last stitch right here, I'm going to do one more color change. So for now, this time I am going to switch to white. I'm going to do a slip knot here, and then I'm going to pull through on the green right here. And finally, before I continue on, now I finally, with my tail right here, I want to go ahead and close this circle in, this tail right here, and then it should close it up, and I should have 9 crochet, single crochet stitches around. So now I'm going to do 2 single crochet stitches in each stitch around, so I have 18 single crochet stitches at the end. So in my first stitch right here, I'm going to do 2 single crochet stitch, and my next one I'm going to do 2 more, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6. So now before I go on, I actually want to cut off all the different colors right here because I don't need them anymore. So here we go, and I'm gonna get my black ready. Now for our next round, we are going to do a color change with the black. Now in the back loop only, I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch all the way around. So you're just going to do a slip stitch all the way around. So you should have 18 slip stitches at the end. Okay, so our slip stitch is complete right there. And now in the back loop only, we are going to do single crochet stitch all the way around. So you'll have 18 single crochet stitches at the end. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3. Now this is my 18th stitch right here. I'm going to go ahead and do 18 stitches around again. 1, 2. And in our very last stitch right there, our white we haven't cut off yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another color change with the white. Okay, and now in the back loop only, I'm going to decrease all around. So it's gonna go in the back loop only. That means 1 loop. Decrease here. Gonna keep decreasing. Then our back, I'm gonna go ahead and decrease 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then at this point I can go ahead and cut a long tail. And here's your finished California roll. For the row, you're going to get orange and you're going to go ahead and chain 2. That's 1, 2. And for our row, we use puff stitches. So in our very first stitch here, I'm going to yarn over and you're going to insert hook, yarn over and come back out. So you wrapped it around, you have 3 loops. So we're going to do that 2 more times, just yarn over, insert hook into the first stitch, yarn over and come back out. 1 more time, wrap the yarn, go into the same chain, yarn over and come back out. So at the end you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches or 7 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull it out through all 7 loops. Then you're going to do a chain stitch. So that's your first puff stitch completed. So what the puff stitch basically does is you're just wrapping the yarn around your hook and drawing up a loop 3 times to make it become a puffy stitch. So we're going to do that again. So we did 1, we need to make 3 more because we want 4 in total for our first round. So I'm going to try it again. Okay, yarn over and in our same chain space right here, yarn over and come out. That's 1 that we did. You're going to wrap it around, go in and grab the yarn. That's 2, and then 1 last time, wrap it around, insert hook, yarn over, come back out. That's the 3rd time we did it, and by the time we do it we should have 7 loops again. You're gonna yarn over and come out through all 3 or all 7 loops, chain. So that's our second puff stitch. So now we need 2 more of those. So now that we have our 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 puff stitches, I can go ahead and bring this in. So to join, for this one I want to join my round, so I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch in my very next round so it creates a nice circle right here. So now for round 2, I want to have 8 puff stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches around, so we're going to put 1 puff stitch in each stitch. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, yarn over, go into our next hook, come out. Okay, we want to do that 3 times here, yarn over and complete our puff stitch right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and do it in my next stitch here. Okay, finished my 8th puff stitch. And now what I want to do is actually I want to join to the next stitch as well. Now for our 3rd round, we are going to change colors. So I'm going to go ahead and make a slip knot in the black. So my next stitch, I'm just going to go here, and then I'm going to bring my black yarn up. Okay, so now that this has 8 puff stitches around, it should actually have 16 stitches all the way around. So I'm going to have 16 slip stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and work up slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 16. Okay, now I'm gonna do one more here actually, so the color becomes better. And now in the back loop of this slip stitch here, I'm going to do a single crochet stitch all around. So you're gonna have 16 single crochet stitches at the end. So go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I did 16 single crochet stitches, and for my next round I'm going to stay the same at 16 single crochet stitches. So that's 1 single crochet in each stitch around. It's 3, 14, and 16. In my next stitch I am going to do a yarn change with the white. Gonna do a slip knot, and before I finish my next single crochet stitch I'm gonna pull my white through. And for this round here I'm just going to do a decrease all around, but only in the back loop only. So that means just 1 loop in the back only. You're gonna do a decrease all around. So then at the end of the round you should have 8 stitches around, but I'm going to do 2 more decreases at the end here. For the shrimp with a light red yarn, you are going to do 5 single crochet stitch into a magic ring. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For round 2, we are going to increase all around, so that's 2 in each stitch, so you'll have 10 single crochet stitches at the end. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. For round 3, we're going to go ahead and do a color change. So before we finish off this slip stitch, we are going to do a yarn change. And with the Aran colored yarn, you're going to do slip stitch all around, so you'll have 10 slip stitches at the end. Okay, and then at the very last stitch, you're going to go ahead and do a yarn change. In the back loop of the stitches, you're going to do single crochet stitch. So you're going to have 10 single crochet stitches at the end. Okay, and for our next round, you're going to do the same. You're going to have, except for you're going to go through both loops, and you're going to do single crochet stitch all around. Okay, and then when you get to your very last stitch, we're gonna do a yarn change back with the Aran color yarn. And now we're back to doing slip stitch all the way around. Okay, and then in our last stitch, we're gonna do a yarn change again. And then in our back loop, we're going to do single crochet stitch all the way around. Next round, we are going to decrease it. So we'll have decrease all around, so you should have 5 single crochet stitches at the end. And here we are going to, we want to sew this closed, but I'm going to do it with a slip stitch by going through both loops here. Then my next stitch, and then my very last stitch, I'm going to close it so it sews it closed. And if you did it with orange yarn and Aran yarn, then you would have a salmon and you could finish there. But we want to do the tail for our shrimp. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now in the second chain from the hook, you are going to do a single crochet stitch, and in our next stitch we are going to do 2 half double crochet stitch into the same stitch there. And now you're going to do a slip stitch into our next stitch right there. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, do a single crochet stitch in our next stitch right here. And then in our next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochet stitch in the same stitch. And then we're going to do a slip stitch to join back to the end. And there you have it. You have your tail right here. So yeah, here's some ideas. You can glue a magnet. I like to use E6000 glue because that's very strong, so you can glue it and it'll turn into a magnet you can put on top of your fridge. You can stuff it with catnip, and cats really enjoy that. And you can use them for party favors. But yeah, there's many uses. I like to see what you do with your crochet sushi. So yeah, let me know. Tag me with your projects on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll catch you next video.